So welcome to our team call, Team Mountain Strong. It's Monday, December 5th. Thanks to you guys for being flexible. I literally work 5 of 6 Wednesdays in the next 6 weeks. So I can't do our calls, but so Allison had written me this week with some questions, and Kelly had mentioned some stuff, and I just think in general, especially when you're newer and starting out, okay, that's not going to work for me. Kind of figuring out who you're speaking to, what your brand is, that kind of a thing. And Allison had mentioned I did Young Living Oils before I coached as well. And I didn't really have Upline, so I created a lot of documents and stuff, but she was talking about how there's more stuff that you could put out, like something about lavender oil and all of its uses, and like how, I don't know if that's exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah, it is, like graphics and...
Shh, I'm on a meeting. I cannot have this going on right now. I put a show on for you for a reason. I'm sorry. Please be a good girl and take your brother out to watch a show. Okay. Tucker? Oh my God. Say hi. Hi. Okay. So anyway, it's a little bit different with Beachbody because, as you may have noticed, if you have done something else with sort of direct sales before, it's not really direct sales. Excuse me. First of all, does anybody have any announcements to make? I forgot. I think that there's at least one that Nicole has to make. Sorry.
Sorry, let me take you off mute. Congratulations to Allison, who's now Emerald Coach.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Took a while.
Kelly, there's like a plant in front of your face, which is sort of distracting, but yeah. Thanks. So I have 2 announcements. I almost forgot. Actually, it's more than 2, sort of. So Kelly qualified for her first month of Success Starters, which is awesome. And it means that she's 1 month into earning her free ticket to Summit this summer. Kelly also is a new business starter, which means that she's starting to grow her team and having action underneath her, which is very exciting. It's the beginning stages. Nicole has qualified for her 2nd month of Success Starters. So she only has to qualify this month, and then she's earned a free ticket to Summit, which is pretty awesome. And then really exciting, Nicole, is that you are a business builder now, which is the step above business starter. It's what I still am. So that is pretty incredible. You're, 2 months into the business. So I'm super proud of you, and it's pretty great. So you guys have, what are you saying there, Kelly? Can you guys see it? I don't know. I should probably not read it aloud, but I love it, Kelly.
No, don't.
Because the recording won't actually save it, which is awesome.
I know.
Okay, anyway, so that was great. But who doesn't like action underneath them except when you're 8 months pregnant and your belly is like the size of Texas, for real. Anyway, I'm really proud of you guys. Allison and Jen, you guys have like an amazing leader already leading you, which is like I'm just really impressed, Nicole. So you're definitely leading by example and running your business with integrity. And I feel really proud to have all of you guys on my team. You guys are all blowing me away. Just as a little side note, one of my friends and one of my success partners, Lauren, if you guys have seen Lauren Teague or Jordan Bettiger, we kind of do a success partner together. And a couple of months ago, when we met on a Zoom call, we talked about our goals. And I was like, I really, I want to be 2-star. I want to qualify to go to leadership. I want to get some more working coaches underneath me. And Lauren messaged me the other day and she was like, Mama, I just want you to know, like, I'm so inspired. Like, everything you've set out to do, you're doing, and you have this team. And honestly, I was thinking more about this too, because I don't know if you guys saw, Kelly posted a question under the team call tonight about how to talk to people or get people who are currently challengers interested in coaching. And I truly feel like some of it, a lot of it is you just really have to like continually put out who you want to attract. Like keep putting out your vibe, because that's like, if you guys have heard me talk about the avatar, like who I'm looking to attract. I mean, Kelly, I had approached about the business opportunity a year ago as well. And she was like, oh no, I love my job. I don't think so. And Nicole just was like, nope, you can keep bothering me, but nope. But I kept at it. And even if I wasn't like, harassing either of them every week or something, I think that they hopefully were watching me on social media, and I was slowly but surely like attracting my tribe. And so like, that's what you guys just need to keep focusing on is attracting your tribe. And you all are doing a great job in the challenge group, better than I'm doing. I'm sorry I've been such a slacker. It's been kind of a rough week for me, but that's the other, I feel like I'm jumping all around, but that's in answer to Kelly's question. And let me know if I'm missing any of the question, but in terms of attracting coaches, I think you just need to keep putting out there what it does for you. And, Allison had talked about, I don't want to just post sweaty selfies and Shakeology photos. And that's like, no one's going to follow you if you do that, right? If you're just like constantly like, I mean, I think people like to see your progress and people love to see transformations. So as like, whenever you're brave enough to do that, but the other things you can share is like, I had a really rough day today. My kids were crazy. Does anyone else like feel like they're maybe going to lose it legitimately? And I didn't work out or whatever, like you can be real. I think that was something I was really, really afraid of when I was first coaching, is that I couldn't admit to having rough times. And I still struggle with it, to be honest, because I'm like, God, I'm supposed to be their coach. And here I am like messing up left and right, eating this, not working out, whatever it may be. But those are struggles that pretty much everybody goes through. So if you share that, you're going to start attracting people that feel that way, that want support from you because they have felt that same way at one time or another. And then Kelly, just keep reaching out to people that like you, especially people that maybe are posting a lot and are getting comfortable with it. Or I have a few challengers right now that I'm working on that like comment on other people's posts a lot and will say good job or way to go or whatever. Those are people you want to be looking for because they're already basically coaching. And so you just need to kind of like, you kind of just need to get them on board with the idea of, some people have a hard time. They're like, I don't want to get paid just to help people. But I mean, let's be honest, like, that's how people survive, so I'm a nurse and I want to get paid for helping people. So I'm just being honest, but yeah, so creating the experience, I don't have any like, I think you just have to keep having faith too. This isn't a business that like happens overnight. It's not a place where you're going to have like this. Nicole is actually like, you're kind of a firecracker to start with, that you've had people under you that are wanting to do something with it. Because it does. I mean, if you look at Kelly Riley, is that her jumping on? Yeah, there's Kelly. Anyway, I mean, it has taken her literally a year to find someone who wants to be involved in the team page and wants to come on meetings. And I think it was one of your coaches, Kelly, this morning who listened to the National Wake Up Call. Like, it is just some people, I think some of it is luck and some of it is just luck, really, honestly. And then just keep reaching out to people. But Kelly can probably, we were just talking, Kelly Riley, about how to turn challengers into coaches, because that was one thing that Kelly had asked. And I just said that it's like, it can be really, really tough. Like it takes perseverance. And like Kelly has not given up on her team. She posts in her team page every day. She, tells people how great they did for doing a workout or losing a pound or whatever it may be. And she is slowly attracting her tribe, I think. Do you feel that way, Kelly? Do you feel like it's starting?
Yeah, it's hard because I think majority of people that have signed up through me just obviously because they want to work on themselves, which is right. Obviously how we all kind of started. But it's hard to get, I mean, I've been doing this for like 18 months, and it's hard to get people to actively coach because they, for whatever reason, like they just don't want to do it. They're too busy. They just don't honestly get it, or they just truly are there to work on themselves. But I just ended up finding people that honestly I had to get them to have like amazing success and like really work on themselves, because I honestly think to have someone come in right off the bat to be a coach, I think it's pretty rare, because they don't honestly know what the hell they're talking about, to be fair. Like, they don't. And so they have to really believe in the product to be able to be a good coach and a good motivator and a good, everything.
And sometimes it only, I mean, like with Nicole, it only took it was like 2.5 weeks, and she was like, holy crap, like, I think I'm ready to do this, because she felt amazing. People were like noticing her at work. People were saying stuff, and she was like, I remember when you first signed Brianne up, you were like, oh no, let's put her under you. And I'm like, no, let's put her under you. I think, if nothing else, you get the commission from it. And, a week later,
I totally had that attitude too. Like, I mean, there wasn't anything you were going to say to me that was going to get me to coach. Like, that's kind of the attitude that I had. Like, I'm doing this for me. I don't have time for it,
Right.
But
so what changed your mind, do you think, Nicole, then, in terms of like advice for Kelly?
Well, I think what changed my mind was I was like, why not at this point? Because there's so many people asking about it, and I wasn't working the business. I simply was doing my workouts, and people would see pictures of me on Facebook and they'd say, what are you doing? Like, how are you getting the baby weight off? And, I don't feel like I've told my husband many times, I don't feel like I have this, like, a lot of people have this story to tell that is like, I mean, they've been through a lot, and that wasn't my story. My story was I was fat. I had 2 babies. I needed to get the weight off, and I couldn't keep making excuses about it, like, yeah, I'm busy, and so I feel like it kind of started on its own. And then like Allison did it with me, and, she's been super successful at it. So it kind of just fell in my lap. So I was like, why wouldn't you take the opportunity?
Liz Harkey, I mean, and even some of the people like at our Super Saturdays, like a lot of them have said over and over, like, if you just put the focus on your challengers and you really just get them to succeed, like, no matter what, like, you check in with them however frequent they want, like, I didn't want to go overkill, but I would kind of check in with a lot of my people like once a week, and then more if they wanted me to. And then I would always post within my team page and just shoot little things to them, but doing whatever I could.
Kelly, keep going. Successful. I got to go finish I got to put their show back on for them. It turned off.
Okay. But whatever I could do to find them to get success, just because if they were going to do well with this, then they would tell their friends, their family, everyone how well they did. And the more engaged they are into the programs, some people just, it's hard because some people are so in it to win it kind of thing, and other people, they get one challenge back and then they're like off, and I just had to kind of let that go. But now the people that are really starting to coach with me, they really want to coach, but they want to go on their own terms. Like, some of them said they're not using social media for a little bit, and one didn't, and she did it all privately. Like, she set her own little private Facebook group for people that she felt comfortable with revealing things, and she's added on to that group slowly but surely, and she made it to Emerald in the first month, which I was like, awesome. And she signed up another person today, so they're all kind of going their own steps. And some of it is very slow paced for some of my folks. But I think if you can just do whatever you can to get people to have absolute success in it, that's going to be where you're going to get your coaches from. I don't think they often come from starting in the beginning. It's rare. You do get some, but I don't think anyone says, I want to start coaching because of this. They want to see how they do with it, believe in it, and then they decide to coach from there.
So I guess I have a question then with that. So I don't think either of my legs right now want to coach, but if I get somebody else and I put it, say Nicole, like I put it under Kylie, but Kylie doesn't coach, is Kylie like my base or my head leg still, even if she's not doing anything? Like, does she get a commission and stuff?
No. You mean you're going to just put another person under you?
Would it go in, but I have to select a leg, right? So then,
yeah, like, but so she'll get volume. So she'll get volume off of that, but if she's not working the business, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. So she'll still be the first person on your leg, on the leg there, but that doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
She's
Okay.
not going to get commission off of that. You only
I
actually
wouldn't care if she did. I just don't think she wants to work business. And yet she's
Right.
4 pounds in 4 days, so she's kind of happy. But I don't know what, like, you know, like this is her first week, so
Yeah,
I just
no.
didn't know what
So initially, as you're trying to build your team, you just want to go like left, right. And then if you had people that you thought might want to work the business, you want to try to have them opposite each other.
Okay.
That's like thinking more long term. But, you know, when you to first, sorry, you guys, 1 second. What?
And the other thing, Allison, obviously I know Laura might have mentioned this too, is one of the ways that I got to be able to at least get to Diamond a little bit easier is I worked my husband's account. Like I added him up. So I play with his and I made him get to Emerald to kind of work it as a way I can control it as well, because I had a hard time finding people that were going to coach. So I could at least kind of bank on him. And then I started piling everyone up on the other leg so that I could then, even if I found one more coach that would actively coach, it improved my chances to get to Diamond too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We could see. What are you doing, sweet pea? What is that? Sorry.
By the way, Kelly, I feel like I now see you all the time on here, and then I saw your brother at the reunion, and it's just so funny. And he lives right near me. He lives in the town over there.
Is it choppy for you guys? Do I have a bad connection? Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me?
Choppy.
It is?
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah.
It's probably my connection. I'm trying to think. I was thinking of something out there that I wanted to tell. Oh, Kelly, I was going to say a great thing that you've been doing that I wanted to commend you on anyway is how you keep recognizing challengers in the challenge group. I think that's like, are you guys all frozen? Kelly's frozen. I think that's a great step to like getting people to have a great experience so that they want to continue it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you guys, I don't know if you guys have your own personal team pages at this point, but I actually did mine like really late. I don't think I did it nearly when I started, but
If I could go somewhere better.
It's nice because then you have so that they've, are not doing modifications anymore, whatever it is. I would try to acknowledge them, and just so that the team as a whole gets to see the benefit of how everyone else is doing, because it kind of gives them momentum as well. And sometimes I'll put random people that are in other team pages that are just had success, like amazing success, and I'll pull them in as well, just because I think their stories are awesome. But I think for people to see how others are doing lets them know, or else blindly they don't know anything about anyone on the team. So it's nice to just recognize people, because I know we all feel better when we get recognized. So
do you guys recommend doing the like making a team page aside from just your own personal page, but making a team page right in the beginning, even if you don't have active coaches, but just for your challengers?
So it's interesting, Kelly, because Kelly runs hers a little bit differently than I do. And I can never decide if I want to. So she has basically a team page that's more or less her challenger page, because she hasn't really had working coaches up until now. But now she's using it kind of as a team page now too. I was actually going to talk to you about it, Kelly. I didn't know if you were eventually planning on, branching the two as you have more working coaches, but it's kind of really great because she adds everybody to that page. And I feel like sometimes like where I lack is that people get kind of lost in the shuffle after their first few challenges. They're like, that sounds awful, but I like forget about them a little bit sometimes or whatever, especially if they're not very active. And so I feel like on Kelly's, it's really nice that she has that page, because then like she'll announce when any new programs are coming out, or she'll announce, she'll, cheer people on, show people's transformations, make announcements, that kind of thing. So I think it's a really nice way to connect everybody who you're working with. So I don't know. What do you think, Kelly?
Well, I've just recently, like, I've been doing private messages to my coaches, like as in a group format, like when I have something specific for them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that catch-22 if I haven't had any active coaches up until now. So I do think that it's a nice place for me to everyone anytime I sign someone up, I post their picture, I put it on, please welcome to, Team Rising Tide, blah, 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 tell them a little bit about the person so that people are seen as new people join the team. So it's just a helpful face for people. And then anytime, the new challenge groups are coming out, I let them know. I post random recipes every once in a while. I'll do transformations. I literally try to post something every single day in there, and it could be something small. Like today it was Brian Reynolds telling everyone to get their ass together and work out. But it's something, just because I didn't know, I can't send a message to like every single challenger for updating them. So it's just an easy way for me to do a quick blurb, like, whatchamacallit, 3-day refresh is on sale. We're going to think about doing a challenge group, or, hey guys, Health Bet is coming back in January, just to let you know in case any of your friends or family, want to jump on board. This is a great time. So it's just more of like my arena to kind of like tell people. So I think it's really helpful for me. And then I check base with them individually, periodically. And today, thankfully, I was able to check base with all of them quickly. But I weed people out too. If they're people that have not been doing anything for a long time, then I kind of start phasing them out of that group. But I'm going to have to figure out what I am going to do for actual coaches, because it's a new thing for me.
Well, and you could probably do the same thing, Kelly. You'll just have it be another page that's like for active coaches, because I think that what you're doing now has been so awesome. Like I said, I've like contemplated doing it so many times, but I think because it's been so long now, it seems like such a massive undertaking to try to do that. But I think it's so great. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, but
hey, Laura, question.
Yeah,
it's not about team pages though. But
yeah, it's okay.
You posted something the other day about like 3 days of grace for your like period during the holidays and stuff. I guess I'm confused. Is that like for the next challenge group, or when is the next challenge group? Like, is it going to start the day after Christmas, or is it going to be like a 2-week break and we're going to do January 2nd? Or
right. So we're kind of going to be running them at the same time. So we have our current one that like I don't even know what day it's on right now. And that probably will just run through January 1st. That one, like people you already have in that, but
the Hustle Home for the Holidays.
What's that?
The Hustle Home for the Holidays one.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't it be over like the 17th, right? Or the 8th?
So we can so it actually would work out perfect then to transition to this. So my idea was I was listening to, I forget who it was, but it was this top coach, and she was saying how basically I just think in terms of like, for me at least personally, trying to help 3 to 5 people in December, I get really nervous because I hate to like wait till the very last couple of days. And like realistically, a lot of people at this point are like, well, screw that. I'm just going to get fatter and then I'll deal with it January 1st,
Right.
So,
and about 2 months later, 2 weeks later.
Yeah. And so, and I even find myself doing that if I fall off track. I'm like, oh, I'll just like, I can just kind of eat what I want for the next couple of days and I'm going to restart Monday or whatever. Like I definitely have a tendency to have that mindset. And so I was thinking about it and I was like, well, why don't we present a challenge group that's, 30 days, or, if it was a 21 day, it would be a 24-day challenge where people have, quote unquote, 3 days off, more or less from the meal plan. Like I really want people still to work out if possible, but like, I just feel like people should have kind of some off days where they're not feeling guilt ridden that they're not following the plan to a T. Like if you want to have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, and those are your 3 days or whatever your days may be, that's how I need to like present it more to Facebook. But so that the prep week would start on the 14th, which is, a week and a half or 2. What is
That's
that?
a Wednesday.
Today?
That's a Wednesday, yes.
Okay, I lied. That's not the day. I'm like so screwed up. So prep week would be a week from today, and then it would start on the 19th. And like prep week is great. And anyway, Dana and Jordan and Lauren, and they all want to run it too. And then you guys are all welcome to run it with us as well. But basically they would start on the 19th. And so they'd be basically 2 weeks in on January 2nd-ish, because they probably will have taken a couple days off. So that would be the newest challenge group that I have planned anyway. And I do intend to do a team page. I mean, not a team page, a calendar, and I still haven't done it yet this month. But
will there be one that starts January 2nd? Like a 21
yeah, we can definitely do that. I haven't even gotten that far, but yeah, because I mean, so the problem is your rush isn't usually, it would almost be more important to start like January 9th, or it's hard to know, like you'd have to put feelers out and we could talk about it in another week and see, you know, if you're talking to people that are like, I don't want to start till January, but I want to start January 2nd, then we should like be able to do that. But for me, I can't remember what we did last year, but I definitely had more people like sprinkle throughout the month of January wanting to start. So,
but also Health Bet, isn't Health Bet starting the 9th?
Right. Yeah. So we should.
So I feel like we should be on the cycle of being with the 9th, because that's where we're going to get a good.
Well,
amount
so
of
what we could
people.
plan to do then is prep week starting the 2nd.
Did you say what's Health Bet, Allison?
Oh, sorry.
Can you explain that? I keep hearing about it and I don't understand what
Yeah, so the Health Bet is, we just did it for the first time maybe in August or something. God, I look so terrible. I can't even deal with it. But
Oh my gosh.
Look at me.
I look so bad. It's where Beachbody, I forget what their pod is, that they're starting with 1.5 million. But basically, is it 1.5, Kelly, this time? Were you going to say something?
I thought they were starting at, because they kept saying it was going to be between 2 and 3 million. So I thought they were starting with 2, but
oh, maybe they are, because they started with 1 last time, right?
Yeah, they wanted to go up 1 million, is what they said.
Okay. Well, so anyway, they're donating money, and basically, they're basically making a pot of money, and then for everyone that, the way that the rules were in August or September, whatever it was, is that we had to log 5 Shakeologies a week with photos. And this is on the Challenge Tracker app, not Facebook. So you have to do 5 Shakeologies. Stop it, Hadley. Come on, honey. I asked you not to do that, please. And then you have to log, I think it was a minimum of 3 workouts.
3. Yeah.
And those didn't have to have pictures, but Hadley, please get off the wall. But the Shakeologies did have to have pictures with everyone. You had to have a picture. So then for everyone that completed at least 5 Shakeologies and 3 workouts for the whole 3 weeks, I don't feel like I ever saw that money, but
I think it got built into one of our checks. It wasn't a separate thing.
Oh, okay. So for anyone that did it, challengers and coaches, the pot got split amongst everybody who met those requirements. So I think like for us, it ended up being like $16 or something. It wasn't a lot, but it gave people a lot of motivation. Like people were
huge motivation.
Yeah, like really, wanting to post, and like, at the time too, it had never been done. So we're all like, we have no idea how much money it could end up being. And so the pot starts at a certain price, and then for every challenge pack you sell, Beachbody donates another amount of money. I forget what it is.
I think it was $5 or something per additional challenge pack. So
Yeah,
with this doubling already, like, let's say if it was just that, like you might get 30, 40, $50, who knows? It depends upon who signs up to do it. But it just to know, like, you're doing your same routine and you're going to get money, it just gets a little bit more, like, extra, like, yay, and excitement.
Well, and it's something to really promote Beachbody, because I don't know how much, especially as you are newer coaches, how much you've researched it, but it's a really, really good, like, ethical company. I just feel like I feel very strongly about the, like, integrity of the company, and that they really want to make a difference in health throughout our nation and world eventually. But it just is another thing that like shows they're like giving money to people just for working out, which is something you hopefully do anyway, but it helps motivate people. So they're trying to bring people, closer to their goals by offering a money, like a value to it, which is pretty cool. So it's something to definitely start talking to people about. For me, I really want to meet my numbers and goals for December before I start talking about January, because it's hard for me to, God, you guys, I can't deal with how horrible this is right now. But it's definitely something to start talking about, especially if you have people who are like, I'm definitely not joining till January, then say, well, this will be perfect for you. I mean, at this point, they could order at the end of December to have everything in time for January 2nd for prep week, and then it could help you meet numbers for December as well.
I think they said you have to order before December 29th or something like that in order for them to get it in time too, just FYI.
Oh, because of holiday shipping and all that crap?
Because of holiday shipping. So I saw some date that said like around the 29th. So if people want to, you obviously don't want it because they have to have the Shakeology right off the bat.
Right.
So just to be aware.
Yeah. The other thing you could do, or if it's people that are local to you, you could like give them a couple of doses. You can tell I'm a nurse, a couple doses of Shakeology to last them until it gets there. Yeah, so I actually didn't talk about anything I was planning on talking about today, so maybe I'll move that to next week. But I was gonna just talk about sharing on social media, because it's just really so important to building this business, is how to share and kind of create your story. And Nicole was saying she doesn't have a story. Well, it's not true. I mean, we all have a story. Whether my sister used to always say that. She's like, I just feel like you have this story because you had all these eating disorder problems and blah, blah, blah. And you've overcome body image, just whatever. She just thought it was like so much cooler than she didn't have any issues. But what she really figured out is like, her story was that she thrived. She actually ran cross country with Kelly here, Kelly Spencer, and she thrived so much when she was part of a team. Like, she just had never been part of that before, and that's kind of what drew her to Team Beachbody as well. So that kind of became her story. But if you guys just try to start working on every day, like writing things down that are part of your story, whether it's being a stay-at-home mom or, struggling with weight your whole life, or just since you had kids or whatever, or, like everybody has a different story, and it's gonna like impact somebody, so nobody's story. I think sometimes we get caught up in the whole, like, my so-and-so died and I went into a deep depression and was suicidal, and then I overcame all of this, and, we're like not envious, but we're like, oh, I have this great story. It's so impactful. And, I come from, my coach is like got crazy stories of things that are impactful. So you have to like get out of the comparing, like just be true to your story and what it means to you. And I'll talk a lot about more about this next week. But I
think more people are like us who don't have stories, like Nicole and I, who I was just lazy. But I think more people, not everyone has the.
Well, yeah,
most people don't.
A lot of people haven't been abused.
So we could come across as more not down to earth, but like more relatable to them, right? Because other people don't have a story either. And they're like, oh, well, I'm like Allison, I was lazy too.
Well, and that's the thing, like you could share is be like, I've really been trying to figure out like why I struggled with this for so long. And I think I just didn't, you could say I was lazy, or, however you want to word it, but lazy is kind of funny. And then you could say like, I didn't know how to get past the fact that I didn't have motivation. Like, can you relate to this or whatever? Because that's like a constant thing for people too. And they're like, I'm just not motivated. And I'm like, well, neither am I, but I still get up and friggin' do it because like, I like how I feel when I do it or whatever. But, I think sharing your story is going to relate to people who you want to attract regardless. Like, someone who was abused and has spent time in prison might not be the best person for you to be coaching because you might not be able to relate to them. So that's not who you're trying. I know I'm not referring to anybody because I don't know anyone who was in prison, but like, you know what I'm saying? You want it to relate to you. So I don't know if that's helpful, but I just feel like I have so much to say right now, and I didn't even really plan this call, but I have a lot of documents I can share with you. I did share with Allison the other day. I don't know if you found that helpful, but stuff that I use in conversations, like when someone says, hey, someone wrote me yesterday and they're like, how'd you lose all the weight? And I was like, what? Okay. And I was like, well, I did 21-day fix, but let me ask you some questions about what you're doing. And then like trying to get the ball rolling that way, because what I did too isn't necessarily going to work for someone who's in a completely, this is like a 55-year-old. And I'm like, well, I was, 32 and post baby. I wasn't 55 and menopausal or whatever. Not that it's going to necessarily make a difference, but when people reach out to you, you always want to like respond with questions and don't like, verbally vomit Beachbody all over them right away. You want to just like start the relationship and start talking. It's hard because I get excited and I'm like, oh my God, I want to sign them up right now. But like, it's important that you build some, some rapport and stuff. But anyway, does anybody have anything else that's quick? It's going to shut off in a second. Thank you guys so much for getting on. I really appreciate it. We'll post, if you guys have questions, post them in the team page and I'll write them down and I'll try to gather stuff for our next team call next week. And thanks again for getting on.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Bye.